Hi ladies, this is a tag I made for a friend of mine. The width of the actual tag is 3 inches wide by 7.5 inches long. I don't know if you can see it. I actually cut the tag out of chipboard and cut out a piece of Romantique paper and Mod Podged it onto the chipboard. I then Mod Podged it again. Then I stuck little pearls on top of the actual tag using a template. Works out a bit cheaper than doing it with the primer. However, I do like the primer. I siliconed the actual butterfly onto the top of the tag and layered it up so it is lifting off the tag. Then I glimmer misted some flowers on the bottom. They were originally a pale ivory colour, very pretty little roses from Wild Orchid Crafts in the UK. I then got a pretty piece of lace and sprayed that to match the tag. At the reverse of the tag then I did a similar, I Mod Podged it and put the paper on top of the tag, and then I went around it with distress ink and stuck a little butterfly at the bottom so I can put my tag in the back of it. So that's the tag. I'm quite pleased with how it turned out. These are the ATCs I made for Your Paper Pantry. It's my first ever swap, so I'm hoping they'll be okay. This one, I cut out a piece of card 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches. I layered the actual paper then on top of the card, sprayed it, stamped it and embossed it with gold embossing powder. Then I cut out a little bird, stuck that onto red card, cut it out and mounted it onto the front of the card. Then I glittered the bottom of the card and used some lace and sprayed that as well, and stuck some little flat back diamantes onto the front and added some little flowers on the top and glittered those with stickers. This one is a little ATC card. I stamped the image and coloured it in with pro markers and then cut it out, mounted it on a piece of card and then went over the whole lot with Versamark and clear embossing powder. I put 3 layers on it so it made the card nice and sturdy, and I painted some white acrylic paint on the bottom and added some glitter, and I think that looks very pretty. This one, I cut out an ATC card size. I mounted a piece of card on top of it, stamped it, used gold embossing powder so it raised up off the back, cut out a little flower, mounted it onto some green card, put it on the front of the ATC and then stuck little flat back diamantes on the front. And at the bottom I sprayed the lace and stuck it onto the ATC and then I glittered that. Next one is the Father Christmas. This is quite a pretty ATC. It's a stamped image of Father Christmas, which I coloured with some Prisma pencils, and then I glittered it and stuck some blue little flat back gemstones on the front, and then I glittered around the edge and embossed it. This one is using a die off my kettle bag, made into a flower, poinsettia flower. It's very pretty as well. Glittered that, and then I stamped the background, sprayed it, and then I put the lace on the top and the bottom, sprayed that, and put little flat back diamantes onto that. This one is of a robin, again very pretty, nice and glittery. Cut it out, stuck it onto the background card which I had sprayed, used the Martha Stewart punch at the bottom to cut out a pretty border, stuck on the roses and glittered those, and I glossy accented the actual robin on the branch on the front of the ATC card. This one again is using a rubber stamp. I stamped the actual image using the Crafter's Companion Christmas stamps. Sorry if I'm a bit out of focus. It's getting the knack of this camera, which is a fixed focal lens, which isn't really that useful, but we'll have to do for now. Stamp the image, cut it out, mounted it on white card and cut around it, coloured it in with pro markers, stuck it onto the background, which was a piece of nice paper saying Merry Christmas on it, and mounted it all onto the front of the card and put little flat gemstones in the corner, in both corners. This one is of bells which I cut out of paper basically. It was a sticker I think. Mounted that onto red card, cut around that, added little diamantes on the little flat back ones to make it look pretty. Added some lace to the bottom, sprayed it, glittered it, and added the Merry Christmas onto the bottom. So that made it look very pretty for Christmas. And the last one I did is on a blue piece of card, which I also stamped and sprayed, and used embossing powder to go over that. So I cut the actual poinsettia out using a cuttle bag, mounted it onto the front of the card. Then I used a little diamante flat back for the middle of it, and put lace on the bottom and added little diamantes on the bottom, and of course I stamped the background. Okay, so that's all now ladies. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment.